Hello guys, good evening to all and welcome to this new video. Today I am going to solve a problem. It's called as length of the longest subarray with utmost k frequency. So guys, if you could have solved the yesterday problem, it is same problem with, but here we have given some, like they have changed the condition. Yesterday the problem is about we have to find the length of the subarray where all the values must be less than k, and today they have changed the question, the length of the longest subarray with utmost k frequency. Here the utmost means the frequency should be less than or equal to the given number k. So let me read the question. You have been given an integer array nums and an integer k. The frequency of an element x is the number of times it occurs in an array. We know that an array is called good if the frequency of each element in this array is less than or equal to k. Let me consider a subarray and the elements in that subarray, and each and every element frequency should be less than or equal to k, and we have to find those kind of subarray which has the highest length. So they are asking for this. Okay, first of all let me decode this. Here is the given subarray. So what are the longest subarrays that uphold the condition? Let's say 1, 2, 3. Here the given integer the k value is 2. So in our subarray, maximum we can take the values maximum, the each element frequency should be less than or equal to 2. We have to consider those kind of subarray. 1, 2, I can consider 2 here, and 3. Till now each and every element holds the frequency of only 1, and then 1. Here the element of 1, its frequency become 2, and 2 here, and 3. This is also fine. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Yeah, whenever I reach to 1, see, the frequency of 1 becomes 3. Here this subarray violates the condition, so we can take up to maximum. This will become our answer. Its length becomes 3. It can be the answer. And let me go through another. 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 can become the answer, right? 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, right? And its length is also 6. And let me consider 3, 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2. You can also become the answer. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, right? So our answer can be anything, just we have to return the length of the longest subarray which holds the condition. And in the subarray, the each and every element frequency should be less than or equal to 2, and we have to consider those kind of subarray whose length is maximum, right? So my my thought process is like, see, first of all I will consider the 2 pointers. You will guys come to know why I'm choosing 2 pointers here and what is the need of considering 2 pointers here. Let's say initially these 2 pointers point to the same index, that is 1, that is the 0th index, and the element is 1. So I can say that 1 holds the frequency of 1 at beginning, right? So it can be my valid answer. So the length can become 1. So to maintain the frequency and to at each and every element, to maintain the frequency, I will consider one of the unordered map. We can use the unordered map. Considered unordered map is considered. To hold the frequency each elements in that subarray. Okay, let's say first of all I and 0 points to the same index, that is 1. So the length can become I will take one of the I will take any global variable. I can name it as answer, because the name should be relevant because I have to return the answer. So I will initialize this variable with 0. Okay, initially we got only 1 and the frequency of 1 is 1, so we can say that the element in its subarray, because 1 also can become the subarray, because right, it is an individual element and it can become the subarray, and its length is 1 because it holds the condition the frequency of that element is less than 2, right? So I can say that at each time I will try to I'm using the maximum function here. I'm using the maximum method here because I have to maximize the length, right? So I'm using the maximum. This can become initially see j minus I plus 1. It will become the length of the subarray. So till now nums of j, which points to the first index, frequency become, it is nothing but nums of map contains the element 1 and its frequency become 1. And then I will move to the next index. I am increasing the pointer. Let's say here when I move to the next index, j becomes 1, right? So it points to the element 2. The map of p of 2 contains, and its frequency is 1. So now also it holds the condition because 1 2 can become the subarray. Right? Answer can become maximum of the previous answer is 1. Now what it will become? The maximum of 1 comma j refers to 1 and I refers to 0 plus 1. It becomes 2. Now the answer holds, and the variable of answer, the value stored is 2 because we are having the subarray 1 2. So just observe here, if we can increase the pointer up to 5th index, it holds the condition, right? Because each and every element's frequency is less than or equal to 2 here. If I increase the frequency, if I increase the pointer j again, which points to 2, that is nothing but the element 3 refers to the element 3 and also its frequency is 1, right? So it holds the condition, and I can increase the pointer up to the 5th index, and I can get the length is 6. See, so whenever I increase the pointer j and whenever it reaches to 0 1 2 3 4 5 5 6 6th index, whenever it reaches to 6th index, observe it carefully. MP of 1 and its frequency become greater than 2, so it violates the condition. So what can I do here? Simply see, j points to 6th index and I points to 0. Even though I increase the pointer j, to j, the next element could be 2. Even though I increase the pointer, it still violates the condition. So all I can do is just shrink the window. Till now I have expanded the window, just now shrink the window. We might get better answer. So I am trying to just shrink the window, and I am trying to reduce the frequency, because whenever I reduce the frequency, because I am removing this element from the subarray. Till now we consider the subarray as these elements, but now I have to remove this element to get better answer. So I have to remove this element from the map, right? Because it could not be our answer. So whenever I reach the condition like this, while the map of the particular element, let's say it is greater than k, my right pointer should always be greater than I. So here it is nothing but the sliding window technique, right? I'm using the two pointers, I'm just shrinking and expanding the window. It is nothing but sliding window technique. So what I can do is I'm trying to remove this element from the map, nums of the leftmost element. I'm trying to reduce the frequency and also trying to increase this pointer until this condition became false. So the remaining process is normal. I hope you got my intuition, so just code it up. And it will take the time complexity of, even though I'm using the two inner loops, that is while loop, but the inner inner while loop is not going to process each and every time, because it only considering some of the particular time. It is not going to process in each and every for each and every element at each and every time. So we don't need to bother about that. We should not consider it as time complexity of n squared. So it is going to be the time complexity of big O of n. And if I could speak about the space complexity, it's going to take the space complexity of big O of 1, because I am not using any space complexity here. I am not using any additional data structure array to maintain some elements. Just I am using the variables which could take the time space complexity of O of n. So I hope you guys you like the intuition process. So I'm going to code this. So if you guys cannot understand this intuition, just go on dry run, because initially dry run is better for all things. So whatever I have explained, just I'm going to code these things. Initially I'm going to consider two variables, that is left pointer and right pointer. You guys can give the relevant variable names for better understanding. Also I'm going to the variable answer return. I have to return 5 initially. So see, sorry, I forgot to consider the main data structure here, my bad. Int comma int going to increase the frequency of that particular element, right? So at each time I have to find the length of the subarray. It is nothing but z minus I plus 1. Okay, it is fine, but what if violates the condition, that is emp of nums of j. Okay, and right, so simply I'm going to reduce the frequency from the leftmost element till this condition became false. That's it guys, and let's see whether our solution works or not. Going to run it. Oh, any compiler error is going to give, sorry, just getting the compiler error. Okay, I have to increase the pointer as well, otherwise it will give the runtime error, because each time we are not incrementing the j value, so it is in loop. What happened to this? I guess it will work now. Give me a minute, I will figure out what I have done the wrong way. Okay, sorry. Let's see. Yeah, submitted the answer successfully. Thank you guys. If you like this video, just subscribe and support me. Thank you.